Unity on the grid tutorial here in InDesign. To go ahead and do that, we're going to go into InDesign, go up to New File, and we want to create a print document that is US letter size set to inches. We want there to be 2 pages, not facing each other, so we'll turn facing off, and we're good to go. So make sure you look at those settings. Once we're into our document, we want to make sure that our window is set to Workspace Advanced, right? That'll give us all the options that you see here. And if they're not already turned on, we want to make sure that we have View Rulers turned on. I can hide them and then go and turn them on, Show Rulers, right? With rulers turned on, we're going to hop over to our parent page. Those are in the sidebar here, A Parent. Now, just like your parents, A Parents will tell the rest of these pages what to do. So we need to tell the rest of the pages to get with the program. We're going to put a grid on here. Dragging from our ruler down, we want to put one guide at 3 inches from the top and one 5 inches from the left. Click on the ruler. Try again. So once you've got that, we're going to make a line here from 3 inches, and we're going to drag from 3 inches to the left while holding down Shift. That gets us a line. We're going to make that line a little bit thicker at 20 points, and we're going to change the color here to be red. That's C15M100Y100. Okay, we've got a line. In order to adjust that, we'll see that we've now applied this A Parent style to pages 1 and page 2. The next step here then is to go ahead and create a new parent, right? We're going to call this parent B. We want this parent to be based on the A parent. So we have 2 versions of a parent. One is red, one is blue. With this second one, we're going to go in and change it to be blue. So we'll go to B Parent, holding down Option and Shift or Command and Shift. We can select that line, and we're going to change that to be cyan or baby blue. Right? Command and Shift lets us select things that are otherwise a part of another parent page. We now have A Parent, B Parent. After we've gone ahead and done that, we're going to go in and add a title on page 1. So notice that page 1 and page 2 are both still with A Parent. On page 1, we're going to drop a title in there. To do that, we grab our text tool and drag a text box. I want this thing to be called, or be set to the font called Futura. And we want this to be condensed extra bold. We're going to give it a nice title there, Unity on the Grid. And we want that heading, we can select all the text again with Command A, and go down to 48 points. With the text there, if it's overflowing, remember we can adjust the spacing by holding Option and using the left and right arrow keys to nudge these words a little bit closer together. To make it even, I might do 2 nudges on the word grid there. Hey, look, it all fits. Now with our white arrow, we can select this and nudge it down until it lands squarely on our line. Now before we jump over to page 2, what we might do is apply the B Parent style to it. So we're going to right click on 2 and click Apply Parent to Pages. The parent we want is B Parent, right? So we now have a blue page 1, or blue page 2, red page 1. To copy our heading, we're going to grab our heading there, hit Command C, and then hop over to page 2. If we hit Command V and paste it, it's just going to land in the middle of the page. So we want to go up to Edit, Paste in Place, otherwise known as Option Shift Command V. So you choose which one is better for you. With it pasted, we now have 2 different pages with the same heading with 2 parent styles. Okay, we're learning the basics of Adobe InDesign. The next thing we're going to do, make a big block of messed up text. So I'm just going to make a huge box here. And I want to fill this in with some random stuff, so I'm just going to right click on it and go to fill with placeholder text. Now I've got a bunch of fake Latin here. Again, I can hit Command A to select it all. I want this to be set to Futura Medium, and we'll do 11 points. That sounds good. 11 point Futura Medium. So this is all starting to feel very unified. I'm just going to shrink my column down here so that the text all lines up with that grid we made earlier. And I'll drag the top down until I hit that smart guide so it hits half the page. Okay, so now we've got text on page 1, nothing on page 2. If we want our text to wrap to page 2, we need to go ahead and click on that red square with the plus sign in it. Notice our cursor is loaded with text. By double clicking on page 2, we can click and drag a box. And what will happen is the text from page 1 will wrap into the text on page 2. Again, I can grab my text here, wait till it snaps and hits the smart guide so that these two pages nice and uniform. We'll see on page 2 that there's still some overflow text, but we'll deal with that at the end. So, the last basic InDesign skill we need to learn is how to draw shapes. Might as well start with a simple shape. We're going to make a rectangle. With our cursor on the grid, we're going to hold down Shift and give ourselves a nice little box. Just like in Illustrator as well, we want our stroke to be nothing, our fill to be set to the matching red color. There we go, we've got some unity. And to copy that object, we're doing the exact same thing we did before. You can either hit Command Option Shift V or go to Edit, paste in place. We've got the red square. Now we need to make it blue. At this point, we've gone through the basics: how to place things, how to create parent pages, how to apply parent styles. All that's left is to save. To do that, we're going to go to File, Save. This will create a document that we can then go back and edit in the future. I'm going to go to my FTD folder. Where's my FTD folder? Right here. And I'm going to create a new folder with the year and the month. 2023. InDesign. And with that folder being made, I've already named my folder, so I'll just click cancel, but you might want to click create. I'm going to go grab my InDesign folder, and I'll name this thing something nice like Unity on the Grid. That is the assignment name after all. I will say save. Now that gets me something I can edit, but guess what? If somebody doesn't have Adobe InDesign, that's useless. So we also need to go ahead and export a PDF. To do that, we go to File, Export. Again, we'll save it in our InDesign folder, giving it that same nice name. We'll say Save, Replace, because I've already done this before. We want our preset to be set as smallest file size, because it's not that important. If you wanted a high quality print, you might choose high quality. We're just trying to create a small file size. So we'll just leave all this stuff unadjusted and go ahead and press export. We're going to get this warning, which is an important warning to pay attention to. It says there is overset text on page 2. Remember that because we have this little red square with a plus sign, that means there's text we can't see. If this was important, this would be a good warning to pay attention to. Because this is all just filler text, it doesn't really matter. We say OK. What we'll go ahead and look at then in our FTD folder is that now we have a nice small PDF with some Latin text all made up, 2 different parent styles, matching unified page design. When you're done with that, go ahead, export it, save it, and turn it in. That's the Unity on the Grid tutorial.